Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Something very strange is happening right now. The coins, the cryptocurrencies that are being attacked by the SEC, lawsuits against firms, all in unison started pumping. And I'll tell you why I believe that is, but it's not it's not just a coincidence. Because look, the market over the time period this happened was either, for pretty much every other coin on the planet, either down or moving sideways. But then it just happens to be the case that these three cryptocurrencies that the SEC is currently attacking all started to go up. Well, it has to do with an expectation of big news coming soon, so I'll be sharing that with you. But weird to see. In a sense, it's weird to see. It's like people speculating. It's kind of like how people in crypto markets in general, they treat, by and large, every single coin the same, in the sense that the asset class moves in tandem. And it's funny that these three cryptocurrencies, including XRP, getting lumped in the same bucket, and people are just, I'd say, somewhat irrationally treating them the same. So I'll share with you the specifics. Also, there is this article that I found highly interesting from Crypto Briefing titled "Understanding the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index." And so the question is, the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, which, Crypto Fear and Greed Index, effectively, I highlight that pretty damn regularly. But is it worth highlighting it? Is the data there reliable? Can we glean anything from it? Well, I'll tell you right now, there's a firm yes on this. This has been analyzed and charted, and the Crypto Fear and Greed Index arguably is the best metric out there to figure out tops and bottoms of market cycles. But before going any further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this, XRP is up to 35 cents, despite the fact that Bitcoin is now below $20,000. It's at $19,845. Crypto market cap, the entire asset class, $984 billion with a B. So that's down, of course. Bitcoin dominance at 38.62%. Here's the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, and we'll be talking more about this in just a little bit. It's at 22 out of 100, indicating that market participants are in extreme fear. And again, most of what's been happening over the last 24 plus hours has been sideways trade action, including with Bitcoin. By and large, it's pretty much what it is. Yet we have this happening. An XRP community member named Jay noted that XRP is trending. XRP is literally trending while the rest of the market is a big nothing, for the most part. Why did that happen? XRP trending on Twitter, 8,621 tweets all of a sudden about XRP? Well, that's kind of interesting. Why might that be? Well, that's what I'm getting to. For now, take a look at this. This is a 24-hour XRP chart. That's what that looks like, so you can just kind of visualize it for those of you that are looking at whatever you're streaming this on. If you're looking at the screen, you can see it climbed. And for much of the last, whether it's 6 hours or whatever it's been, it has been trading sideways after that jump up, but still, it had the jump up. Other cryptos did not, with rare exception. So here's the library credit tokens, LBC. It did something strikingly similar. And then here's Dragon Chain, another one so all three of these coins getting sued by the SEC effectively. And I understand that they're technically suing legal entities, but if you look at what's being argued, it's an attack on XRP and the entire crypto asset class. So they are attacking the underlying asset. So I understand that it's not a legal entity that's being sued, but you get what I'm saying when I say that. So here's Dragon Chain, and same thing. It started going up. So why are they getting all treated the same, huh? And look, here's Attorney Bill within the XRP community. When he was looking at this, and it was in the wee hours of AM, LBC was actually, within a 24-hour period, up over 21%. And Bill said, LBC up over 20%. Is it a portent of a good outcome for Library in its case? Hope so. So why is this happening? Well, on Friday, there was an expectation that there would be an imminent summary judgment decision from the judge in the SEC v. Library case. Strong anticipation that we were going to get something by the end of this week. Didn't happen. I don't know if there's a possibility that on Saturday or Sunday, if the judge is actually going to release a summary judgment, or if we have to wait until the next work week, in which case maybe Monday would be the soonest. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. But that's why I firmly believe this is going to happen, because there really was. There's a strong expectation that would be settled. And so as a result, LBC, people are just, they're speculating, right? Because I think the people, when they started buying it, they realized, okay, well, if something's imminent and if it's good news, this thing's going to rocket. I think that's what they were thinking. That's my suspicion. But and okay, fair enough if people are doing that. Fair enough. There are people that have bought XRP for the last year and a half or so, anticipating that it's going to rocket in price, and I suspect that's reasonable. We'll see what happens. But if there's good news in the SEC v. Ripple case, the weird part comes when they're lumping all three at the same time in the same bucket because they're all being attacked by the SEC. That's a little weird. It's like XRP, at the time I'm recording this, it's only up, in the last 24 hours, a little shy of 7%. But earlier, if you went back a little in time, it was up, I think, over like 10 or 11%. So an LBC at its peak for a 24-hour period up over 20%. And even Dragon Chain, right now it says it's just up a little shy of 6%, but it was a little bit more if you looked back a little bit earlier in time. That's just from from when I'm recording this, the previous 24 hours. So if you had your end point, a little bit before this, like 6 hours ago, the percentage gains for all three would have been much higher, or at least a bit higher. And so Library retweeted that from Attorney Bill, noting that LBC was up over 21%, and said, the government is well known for insider trading. And please don't buy Library as an investment. That is a dumb and stupid idea. Buy Library to use it on the most popular non-finance Web3 protocol in the world. Now, Stefan Huber noted that who was an XRP community member, noted that the LBC/BTC pair, it was going just absolutely parabolic. In fact, for a moment, I'll just make this full screen for those that you want to look. But look at that pair, LBC/BTC pair, just substantially outperforming Bitcoin, and that's why you're seeing that. Well, Attorney John Deaton retweeted that, and that was at 7 p.m. and just about. And he said the following: XRP up 10%, LBC up 11%, Dragon up 5%, all implicated by SEC. Isn't it interesting what people are doing with this stuff? And I don't think it's crazy, again, to suspect if you get good news on these coins, yeah, you could see some truly wacky positive price activity. I think that's perfectly reasonable to speculate. To what degree, I don't know for sure. But you saw what happened with the Kin token when it got clarity almost 2 years ago. And in not too long a period of time, it was up like, I think, over 2,000% if memory serves. It didn't take too long to get there anyway. Doesn't mean it's all going to happen like a day or a week or whatever, and there could be pullbacks along the way. But the point is, when there's clarity, markets respond. And so I think some people are just kind of positioning before it. Now, of course, if the news is bad, you would expect the thing to ultimately plummet. So there's always that risk as well, and we don't know for sure when the ruling's going to come, and we don't know what it's going to be for sure. I'm still optimistic, but we'll see what that looks like. And then Attorney Bill here is noting, and now XRP, with a couple laugh emojis, no coincidence, noting that XRP had jumped up to over 35 cents. Interesting. And then he wrote, seriously, there is no sign of a favorable judgment in the Library case today. And that's true. We don't know. We are reasonably expecting that we're going to have finality in the SEC v. Library case, but in terms of which way is the judge going to go, there's no way to firmly know. Based on the line of questioning, I'm cautiously optimistic because the judge had some seriously blisteringly ridiculous hard questions for the SEC attorney at times, but still, you don't know for sure. There could be a bad ruling. And then there was also this. So speaking of irrational behavior, and I just think it's so silly that these three coins are getting lumped in the same bucket just because they're supposed to be, finality in the Library case soon. Well, what about how people approach markets? Because again, like I said at the outset of the video, I regularly highlight the crypto fear and greed index. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And you'll note every time price goes down, there's this extreme fear. And when price goes up, you start to see folks in greed mode, right? That's pretty much how this works. But historically, how has it behaved? And I think after I go through this, you'll see that there's a good reason that I'm regularly highlighting this. Because it's never failed to indicate tops and bottoms, ever, in its history. And it's been around a few years, but in that time period, it's never failed. So check this out. The Fear and Greed Index is a tool that measures crowd psychology in the Bitcoin market. This overall feeling of investors towards the state of the market is also known as market sentiment. Fear and greed are two predominant emotions in human psychology that can influence investor behavior. The Bitcoin market is no exception to this. Hence why market sentiment awareness is important to helping us decide the right time to enter or exit a position. On the surface, investors generally follow the index based on the theory that excessive fear tends to drive down the price of Bitcoin and too much greed pushes the price up. The assumption is that extreme fear increases selling pressure for Bitcoin, driving the price down and presenting a buy opportunity for investors. On the other hand, extreme greed drives up the demand for Bitcoin, hiking up the price and offering a good selling opportunity. So, so pause note, this is why, in a general sense, I say it makes all the sense in the world to do the opposite of whatever the hell the crowd is doing because they do not know what in the ever-loving hell they're actually doing. So does this thing actually work? Well, check this out. And there's a chart on your screen for those of you that care to take a look here with tops and bottoms highlighted. Is the indicator reliable? The answer to this question is in the data. Looking into Bitcoin.com gives investors insight into how the index has historically interacted with the price of Bitcoin. As seen in the above chart, the index is an optimal indicator for anticipating local tops and bottoms for timing shifts in the direction of the Bitcoin market. However, it doesn't specify at which price points such shifts will occur. Yeah, exactly. And that's fine. So that's why we don't know for sure where the bottom is. But when you get into this level of extreme fear, you are in a short, relatively speaking, short period of time in which the bottom's there. Whether it already happened very recently or it's about to happen just a bit into the future, we're there. We are there. And then when you get to this tops where there's the green, because that's the euphoric mode, all the people getting greedy and extremely greedy. When you get to those as well, that's an indication probably at a local top. You know, and so as this has happened, that's why it's so easy to do this. Like, it's so easy. All you have to do is like hold and just do nothing. When this happens, these are clear indicators it's time to sell. Then when you get into the mode we're at now, it's time to buy for people that want to anyway. So this is not me telling you what to do. I'm just saying this thing has been reliable for the entirety of its existence. And it's not that it goes up literally in a straight line, but in terms of sentiment, my gosh, this is highly valuable. This is incredibly highly valuable. So you look at where we're at now, people in fear. Well, if you're listening to this, hopefully you're not one of the people in fear because it doesn't make logical sense to be fearful based on all publicly available information, so far as I'm concerned. That's my personal opinion. You know, market moves in tandem. People that want to sell have already sold. Then you can look at other metrics too, like long-term holding of Bitcoin at an all-time high, over 13 million of the Bitcoin in existence being held for. I think it was 155 days is what they consider long-term holding. I could be mistaken, but you get the point, though. Holding, it's never been that high before, and we're at all-time. It's because the people that are here have conviction. That's what I'm saying. Most of the people who can get shaken out, they've been shaken out. This is always how this stuff goes. So, as a result, I'll just say this: like, the future is going to be incredibly exciting. The fact that we're bottoming out now, market's going to turn around at some point, going upward, into the future. And we have to look forward to the settlement or full adjudication of the SEC v. Ripple case. And if this really is the beginning of a new market cycle, well, it'll take a while to have an alt season anyway, which means this thing would just be settled. Or fully adjudicated. Either way, though. So that little black cloud will have gone away from XRP, won't be hanging over XRP anymore, and we'll be in a bull market. Son, things are going to get bonkers up in this bitch. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.